Hi guys, welcome to my third video. In this video, I want to analyze the two most iconic opening positions of Chess960, which are, in my opinion, number 1 and 960. For new videos of this type, I will find the most interesting opening positions in terms of ideas and variations of moves. So let's start with position number 1, d4, so classic move. The pawn occupies the center, controls the important e5 square, and a diagonal for the bishop is open. g6, attacking directly the pawn. e3, it defends and opens a passage for the other bishop. d5, so in order to gain space and opens a diagonal for the bishop. g4, same aim of g6 but more aggressive. c6, it defends and allows to develop the dark square bishop. Note that there are not any moves of pieces so far, only pawns. Now bishop e2, so it develops and defends the diagonal for the king. It's important always to keep an eye on the diagonals on the king in Chess960. It's also the best diagonal for the light square bishop in this case. Knight d6, developing towards the center. Bishop b4, it attacks the knight, and there is the threat of ruining a bit the pawn's structure of black. Knight d7, the threat is ignored. Knight d3, developing, and a5, attacking the bishop. Bishop takes d6, e takes d6, and h4. Probably white will try to castle queenside, and this move is useful to gain space on the king side. And here h6. It's harder to understand the goal of this move. Perhaps it is useful to fight the white's pawns. Could be also useful to give space to the queen. Let me know if you have other ideas. It's complicated to see other good moves in the current position. For example, instead of h6, a good move is bishop e7, developing. For example, if we try f5 and the pawn is defended, here the best is knight f4, developing, and there are two possible moves here. The best move is knight f6, and despite this is the best, g5, and there is immediately a problematic position for black because this knight doesn't know where it can go. So another move could be bishop f7. Actually, this is not good because there's g takes f5, g takes f5, rook takes, queen takes, and knight d2, developing. After that, bishop e7, developing, and bishop d3, attacking the pawn. Here the best is long castle. If you try to defend with bishop e6, there is queen h3 attacking, and if you do this terrible move trying to defend the pawn, queen f7, there is knight takes, and here queen takes and bishop takes, and this is completely lost for black. So h6 is the best, queen h2, developing and attacking the pawn, bishop c7 defending, knight c3, developing, and b5. This move gains space. In spite of b5, Stockfish thinks that the best move in this position is castle queenside for white, so long castle. Knight f6, developing. It develops the knight and gives space to the bishop, to the light square bishop. Rook df1, and this is a better file for the rook. In the d file was a bit passive. This move activates the rook, and there's an x-ray attack on the king. b4, so to attack the knight. Starting the attack on the long castle, knight d1, and bishop d7. Finally, that bishop is developed. This match will probably be a sharp game. Let's now analyze the other opening position, number Chess960. Here the best is d4 and knight e6, so attacking the pawn immediately. And the best move here is knight f3. If you try d5, so you want to annoy the knight, there is knight d4, and there is a threat of mate in e2, a nice smother mate. So it's better to play knight c3 to defend, b5, logical move. After that e3, attacking, and here b4, e takes, b takes, knight d3, queen takes, b takes, and knight f6. And this is a nice position for black. So d5 is not good. d5, rook e1, preparing a short castle, knight f6, developing, short castle, rook e8, same idea of white, b4, very aggressive, it opens the diagonal for the queen and the bishop, dark square bishop, short castle, and queen b2. Here there is a very interesting move, and this is a gambit, c4. This is a playable move from white, but the best is queen b2 in that position. After that, the best here for black is to accept that pawn, so d takes e4, and a4 gaining space, a5, b5, the pawn is pushed, c5, and here d takes c5, knight takes, knight e3 developing, knight b3, double attack, fork, queen b2, knight takes, rook takes, it's better to activate a rook instead of queen takes, bishop f4, and the knight is pinned, and rook takes, attacking the bishop. So queen b8 defending. Now there is a battery of black, b6 gaining other space from white, e5, it gains space in the center, g3 attacking the bishop, bishop takes and f takes, and after queen d6 the position is completely equal. So after queen b2, a5, and here the best move is another gambit, c4. In this case it's the best move, c4. If you try b takes a5, if the pawn is taken, there is c5 attacking the center, and here c3 is the best. If you try d takes c5, it's a mistake, there is queen takes a5, and this is a better position for black. There's a small advantage for black. The c5 pawn will be captured. It's not good to capture pawns if the foe can capture and develop pieces at the same time. So after c4, there's d takes c4 and b5 pushing the pawn, gaining space. c6 attacking the pawn, a4 defending. The battle at this point is on the queen side. c takes b5, a takes b5 and b6, and the diagonal for the queen is open. e4, fantastic center for white, and knight f4, aggressive move of knight. And the best here is d5. e5 is a blunder, because after e5 there is knight takes. The best is knight g5, because if king takes there is bishop takes, and now big troubles for white, because if king takes after that there's a mate in 2. So knight g5 is the best, knight takes, rook takes, and queen b7. This move is the best in this position. If e takes, there's e takes, bishop takes, king h8, bishop e4, queen c7, and knight f3. Huge advantage for black. From a materialistic point of view, there are 6 pawns and a rook for black against 4 pawns and 2 knights, but black is more aggressive and the black's king is well defended. And after that, for example, queen d7. So d5 is the best here. Knight d3, fork, no problem. Bishop takes, c takes, and now there's a solitary and bold pawn. Queen c3, bishop d6, developing, and queen takes. If e5, this is a blunder because there's bishop b4. So queen takes, bishop b4, and very interesting move from white. The move is knight e3. So with this move, white privileges the activity of pieces instead of defending the rook. And after that, e6. So the best move for black is e6 and not bishop takes e1. Black has to keep an eye on the center because the center is controlled very well by white here. So, and if you try bishop takes e1, there is rook takes and knight d7 to put the knight in the outpost in c5. Bishop a3, knight c5 and queen d4. Bishop d7, attacking the pawn, and rook b1 defending. Here it's hard to defend the knight from the double attack. Let's analyze two different moves. For example, if you play rook c8, the rook is also on an open file. There is knight e5 attacking. Here rook f d8 defending. Knight c6 attacking the rook. Bishop takes, and here knight f5 threatening a mate. Knight e6 defending, and queen e5. Nice move to keep an eye pressure on the black king. There is the threat of a mate. Bishop e8 defending, and finally d takes. After that, f6 forced. Queen g3, bishop g6, and knight takes e7 check. King h8 and knight takes, queen takes. The e6 pawn is really dangerous, so there's a good advantage for white. Let's try another move instead of rook c8. If you try queen c8, always to try to defend the knight, there is knight c4 attacking the pawn, queen c7, and knight takes, because after queen takes, bishop takes. Good advantage for white also here. There are 5 pawns and a rook for black against 6 pawns and a knight for white, but white has a strong initiative. And so the best move here is f6. Best move. It gives space to the king and avoid problems on the big diagonal. So very important move of prophylaxis from black. So after e6, so the best here is it's developing, and e6 is the best. After that, rook d1, and now the rook is saved. E takes, and this match is less tactical than the other one because there are 2 short castles. So thank you a lot, guys, for watching. If you like this type of video, let me know with a comment or a like, and we will see to the next video. Thanks for your support. Bye bye.